Let's just talk about
sometimes.
some logistics though, because I want you to be able to have a really calm mind. And that I think is the best gift that you can give to yourself and to your family is if you are calm, you're not stressed out, you're feeling like, hey, you know, I've got this. And that type of peace is something that you can actually create. And I'm just going to share a few ideas on how to do that logistically. Now, the STEP program and building a command central, yes, that's like the big picture of how to do it. But here's just a few things that if you haven't built your command central yet, but you want to do them right now, I just have a few ideas I put together for you. Okay, so actually it's like 4 ideas. So first, I want you to I want you to create a list called to think about in January. Okay. Now, this could be a paper list. Like what I would typically do is, you know, I have like my monthly little calendars. I haven't put my January one yet in, but I could put the January calendar in and have a piece of paper right behind it that says to think about in January. Okay. Then, whenever something comes up and you're like, oh, I need to work on that, but that could wait till January. You just write it on the list and you're going to process that. Like we have the processing we'll teach you in module 5 of the STEP program. You're going to process that later, but it just gets it off your mind into one key list. And I think about this in January. That way it's not going to disappear. Your brain knows, okay, when I turn my page over, or you could create a Google Doc or a digital list and then have it linked in your calendar to pop up that day. So you can do it digitally too, but just have a way to get those things sitting and just waiting and holding. Okay. Then second, I want you to narrow your December projects list, like as small as possible. Jill Adams, one of our STEP coaches, she says they do like 3 projects in a month. We do like me, my family, and beyond. And like right now, I mean, that's what mine is like up here on my little chalkboard. So I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. I have 7 projects right now for November. I'm about to create my new December one. I'm only creating 3 projects. I'm going to keep them very, very short. So you're like, okay, this is my focus for myself, my family, and then, you know, for our business or profession or that type of thing, but keep it so short. And then, so that's step 2. Did you have something to add there?
Just remember, keep the projects few and focus, like the things you really want to have happen in December. Because it's a busy month. Things just creep in more than maybe any other month of the year. So if you can defer some stuff off to January.
Yeah.
But then, identify the projects. And then just like I was going to bring out this little graphic that we have from our class, like literally write the name of the projects down and then take a minute or two to just block out the action steps. There's going to be fewer and they're going to be easier to do than you might imagine. When we think of things in terms of large scale projects, you know, this thing at the top, we let our minds just race about how hard it's going to be. But if you literally say, okay, look, here are the 5 little steps. It is as simple as
you filled up my drawers over here.
You have no idea what's ready. I am ready for this class. I came prepared. But it's as easy as working with Superman or with Wonder Woman, just taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of Pez, one little step at a time, and all of a sudden the project's done. And you can literally eat a piece of Pez every time you finish a project step. And you can have as many Pez dispensers as you have projects.
Oh my gosh. You guys haven't even
So if you have 4 projects, you might tip it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tip it down. We can all see.
You can have 2 projects. You can have 4 projects. You can have 6 projects. And you can put the steps written down somewhere. So when you finish the project codenamed Yoda, you can literally pop open.
Codename Yoda.
Why are you moving off of Yoda? Yoda. When you finish each step, take a little orange piece of Pez out. You can color coordinate the Pez based on the characters as well. I like red here, orange here, green if you've got them.
That is such good advice.
And then every time you knock out a step on a project, but you can see that you know what your projects are. They're simple. I have 5 projects. Here's what they are. Here's the steps, and here's what they are. And you know, okay, I can get this done 1 step by 1 step by 1 step, one day to another day, and all of a sudden, all 6 of your projects. Can
you just like pose with me and smile real quick?
What are you doing?
We have to screenshot this. Jeez.
We're not screenshotting it.
Okay, so.
But it's really that easy.
You're so funny. Okay, but you know what? As funny as this is with these little Pez dispensers, I do like codename Yoda. You really could
codename your projects.
I would say
Diana, 6. Clark, Darth, Yoda, Fozzie, and Kermit.
Well, and I would say 6 projects might be kind of a lot to start with
because but in our classes we taught people initially, we say keep it to no more than 6 to 8 projects per month. It might be 2 for you, 2 or 3 for your family, 2 or 3 for beyond.
But see what happens in December typically, or almost every month, is that you start out with 3 projects, But then like the school calls and like, oh, hey, there's this issue happening. Or your child's like, I've got headaches all the time. Or like all these things kind of start coming in.
This steps us up to your third thing you're going to talk about. When those things come along.
Yes. Okay. So, well, some of them you have to solve. Like,
well, I've got to move this one off.
Right. You have to keep it. Keep Superman. You've got to keep it as narrow as you can.
Because a couple others might need to pop in, and so be it.
Like, health issues or emergencies or things like that, obviously. But then, so first was that to think about list in January. Second was narrowing the projects down to like 3 if you can. Third is renegotiating with friends, family, coworkers, etc. Kind of like we talked about those discussions in the previous step. But as you look at your list, I mean, think about anyone who might be impacted by those things. I mean, like we want to do some stuff in our backyard, and because we haven't touched our backyard since we moved in the house 3 years ago. And we talked to a friend. He's like, oh, I've got someone who can come over and they can help. It's going to be great. And that's a project we've wanted to do for a long time, but we've kind of had to keep postponing that one. I was
laughing about last night because we've had a few things that have been challenging in November. And April's like, we want to get this done. Let's get it done for the spring. Let's do it now. And then she jokingly says she has 2 priorities right now through November. And I was walking out, kind of gathering up some leaves to take out the curb last night before our pickup this morning. And I'm like, and now she understands why this has not gotten done, because it's important and we want to get to it someday.
Yeah.
But the important, again, another Covey principle, the important often gets crowded out by the urgent. And so as you're evaluating holiday projects, things that are coming at you, try to keep it to 2 or 3 yourself. Because, of necessity, external factors and situations and organizations' activities might add in 2 more. Okay, that gives you 5 that you could focus on.
Yeah, and then you can manage it. And you don't
and even if you need to push one of these over to January, it'll still get done. But the yard type reconsideration is
my 2 projects were just like my health and being patient with our boys.
Those are the 2 focuses for November. Not a lot else happening.
Yeah. So anyway, things are moving in a
none of you out there can relate to that, right?
It's like I can only handle so much. I know. So we're human, right? We're all human. Okay, and then the last one, after you renegotiated, explain to friends and family or coworkers, hey, here's what we can do. Here's what I think we should wait on. Do my best work, put my best effort, my best energy. I need to be able to focus. I think people can always respect that. I respect that with our team members. We want them to be able to do their best work and focus, just like we do. Then the fourth is then just focus on reducing your cognitive load. And I actually put that.
Now, April's going to explain what cognitive load means.
Okay. So, and should we keep the Pez dispensers here or should we move them over?
Is it cognitive
People
load
are saying Pez dispensers and Christmas stockings is the new idea. So,
excellent.
I think, we can leave them there.
Is this creating cognitive load for you?
No, but okay. So the book Atomic Habits and then also the book The Organized Mind, those are 2 that I've been reading recently that talk about how your brain can only process so much information at a time. And Eric and I were talking about that the other day. Like you only have so much mental energy, mental capacity. You can't think through too many decisions.
And just a quick aside on that, if we were to ask you, what is the most scarce resource that people have? A lot of times people always said money, right? Or they'll kind of even go further. No, it's time, right? And I don't know if there's a correct answer to it. I think for every person, it's different at different stages. But what we've come to understand is I think energy and time are probably 2 of the ones we'd always put near the top of the list, if not at the top.
Yeah.
Because money and other resources, you can figure that out. There are limitations there, but you can figure out you can't multiply time and you can't multiply energy. So figuring out how to use those very scarce, very precious resources to the best of our ability becomes increasingly important.
Yeah. So I set a project because when I was sick, I'm doing a lot better now, but I was sick from the beginning of August and still kind of working on it. And so I spent a lot of time in bed, a lot of time with the doctor, trying to figure out stuff like that. And so I found that if I could just make all the decisions go away or all those things that you think every day, ooh, I think I should fix that one thing, or, oh, I need to replenish that item, or I need to get some vitamins, or
so I need to tell a quick story about how on your cognitive load and how you solved it.
Yeah, tell me.
So we had to order, given all the stuff with COVID, want to make sure we're a little bit more prepared. So we'd ordered some additional food storage, kind of some canned goods and things like that. And so they started coming a couple boxes at a time where we'd pick something up at the store, and I would set it up downstairs outside of our little closet area down there for those types of things. But I didn't want to put it in yet until I knew exactly where I wanted it, how to come the way I wanted to do it. And so right next to the door, there's a pile of 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes.
So every morning and multiple times throughout the day, I'm looking at these boxes.
And the way April's mind works is like, there's a pile of boxes.
We need to do something about those boxes. Those boxes don't go there.
That's what cognitive load is. It's a load that your brain, every time you go by it, thinks about it and loops back and thinks about it.
And this is
I have trained myself that I can walk by things and that's there. I'm not thinking about it. I'll get to that someday. So it depends on how you manage cognitive load, right? You might have a spouse or a partner who's a little bit different in that and is trying to figure out that balance. But one day she's like, okay, look, I'm going to do something about it. So we talked quickly. And so she did some things that were like pretty much aligned with what I was going to do. And so she just couldn't take it anymore. So
I'm like, here's my next action. If you agree with the next action, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know quickly because I'm going to go.
Then you need to move out and go away, far away.
So I got Spencer down there. We organized, we labeled. We spent probably 45 minutes down there and we got it all cleaned up. And now I don't have to think about it anymore. But it's those little things. And now we have 3 boxes of chairs down in the dining room that I keep asking Eric.
Raise your hand if you know what I'll be doing after this call's over.
Well, every time I walk by him, I'm like, we have 3 boxes of chairs sitting there. So what I was doing, like I literally went through my closet. Put it in the
bedroom next to the Christmas tree.
But like while I was sick, because I didn't have the capacity to like think creatively, I could just go through systematically, just maybe one little piece a day. I went through every room, closet, cupboard, anything out on the surface. And I was just like, is anything bothering me? Like, oh, that should be given away. That needs to be moved. That's, whatever. I just did that. And I involved the kids. And I'm like, hey guys, we're all going to help clear our cognitive load. And they're like, Mom, is that cleaning? I'm like, no, it's not cleaning. It's clearing the cognitive load.
Yeah, the kids bought that one.
Anyway,
I would also suggest, whether you're male or female, that when you go to make this list of all the things that are bothering you, you are well nourished, you are well rested, you're feeling pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Because if you're not in a good place and you're like going through your whole life and your whole house,
like get rid of everything.
It's going to be a long list and it's going to be pretty crazy.
But you know what? I will say, after working on it systematically over the last few months, like I can walk around the home now and I'm just feeling like I'm just breathing well. There aren't all those little things like, oh, that necklace is getting rusty because you have it hanging in the bathroom where there's no ventilation. Like all those little things that were just spinning through my mind, they're just not anymore. And so now I feel like I have the bandwidth to be able to focus on the bigger things. Hey, how can we serve more as a family? How can we strengthen relationships? What do we need to teach our teenagers? That type of thing. So it's really good.